Welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where I want to talk about how us parents, we just don't need any sleep. So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves. Welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to talk about how we don't need any sleep. Maybe I said tonight simply because I'm anticipating getting to bed, although it's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon as I record this. Why? Because last week I got virtually no sleep as the baby was up and I was on my own for the entire week. He got up 3 out of the 4 nights that my wife was gone. In the middle of the night, and had to go in and comfort him, and obviously we don't need any sleep. Last night he did the same thing, but last night was even worse, if you would, than any of the other nights, and I'll let you know towards the end of this what we think it was, which is comical and silly in some way, because it was so simple we should have been able to take care of it. But here's the deal. I tend to be a night owl. I tend to stay up late anyway. So if I get to bed at midnight, 1 o'clock, and the baby's up at 2, and I still have to be up at 6, it becomes a challenge. So last night I got to bed a little bit earlier, probably about 11, but the baby was up at 1. Wife brought him into our bed just because his room's right next to his older brother's and we want him to get his sleep. After he made it to our bedroom and was there tossing and turning for 2 hours, I just said to my wife, listen, I'll go into the other bedroom. I'll go into his bedroom, which also has a bed. I go in and I'll just lay with him there, to which, I don't know, this was probably about 4 o'clock in the morning I went there, and he tossed and turned until about 5:30. At that point, my wife just decided to get up. It's funny because as my wife left the house this morning around 7, she says, hey, go get yourself a nap, and I laughed. I said, who has time for a nap? I don't have time for a nap. I don't have time for sleep. I don't know jack about parenting, but I know this about parenting, is regardless of the circumstance that's going on in our lives, we don't stop being parents. We can't not get up for the kids. We can't not go pick them up from school. We cannot not go to, he's starting lacrosse this week. I cannot not show up for my children simply because maybe I don't feel good that day. When my wife gets sick, moms, you know this, you're not allowed to get sick. And as an involved dad, I feel the same way. I really don't get many opportunities for downtime because my responsibilities are too great. So sleep really is at a premium. Now, I will say this. For those of you who have followed any of my podcasts or anything that I talk about on social media and things, I've kind of talked about this. One of the things I think as parents, we need to get a certain amount of rest in order to be effective. Otherwise, we'll be cranky and short-tempered simply because of sleep deprivation. So I always talk about, if you're a new parent, right? You have maybe an infant child, or you're even pre-birth and you happen to be listening to this. Do yourself a favor. I get no money for what I'm about to say, but probably should. I'll probably put a link up on the website as a resource. But go and buy the book. It's called 12 Hours in 12 Weeks. And what it stands for is you are going to get 12 hours of sleep, a full night's rest, because your baby will sleep for 12 hours by the 12-week mark or the 3-month mark. if you follow what's in this guide or plan to train your child to sleep overnight. Can't tell you how many times. What's going on with my son right now is going into, he's not even terrible twos yet, 17 going on 18 months old, but he's at that age where he's very curious. He's starting to talk. He doesn't want to miss anything. So I think this is simply a phase, but from 3 months till probably about a week ago, he was an excellent sleeper, meaning going down anywhere from 6:30 to 7:30 at night and getting up around 5:30 every day. So this is something we will work through. And last night really was this. When he woke up and he got up with my wife, she fed him because he was like, more. And like he wanted his milk, and then after the milk he was more. And if you don't know sign language, touching your fingertips, all of them together scrunched up in almost like a clapping motion, if you're watching on YouTube like this, it means more. And he knows sign language from school, so he's like more. And so she gave him a half of a muffin. And when I got down there, I saw the half a banana had been eaten. She goes upstairs, gets ready for work. I'm taking over the kids, getting them dressed, changing diapers, getting backpacks ready. And he's like, he sees his brother having his breakfast, and he's like, I want more. So I was like, let me go get a muffin, not knowing that my wife had already given him half a muffin. Give him another half of a muffin. And I gave him something else. I can't remember offhand right now. And I said, I think he was just hungry last night. She goes, I know, he ate so much this morning. I said, wait a minute, what'd you give him? And she goes, I gave him a half a muffin and half a banana. I was like, well, I gave him the other half of a muffin, and I gave him something else. And she's like, and he still ate it? I said, and he was asking for more. And I told him, no, he's got to wait till he gets to school because Miss Gwen will have snacks for him. But it's a simple thing like that. If he's tossing and turning, we could have simply, after an hour of that, realized he's not going back to sleep, that there's something else, and probably could have gotten him a cup of milk and satisfied that hunger for him. But at the end of the day, this is about sleep. See, I don't know jack about parenting, but I know in order to be an effective parents, you got to schedule me time and you got to schedule rest time. And you got to get your, for some people it's 8 hours. I'm not an 8-hour kind of guy, but my wife is an 8-hour kind of gal. If we don't get our rest, we are just not working at optimal levels. And whatever that rest period is for you, I suggest you make sure that you take it. Otherwise, we're just going to be doing ineffective parenting. No matter how well we know the skills, no matter how even-tempered we are, if we're not well-rested, we can't be effective. And those are my thoughts. But overall, our job doesn't stop just because we're tired. So today, I still have to show up at my best levels, even though I'm not feeling my best. We'll see you in the next episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting. Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.